Hey playa, do you dread waking up every single morning and spending another day at school? Between boring classes, annoying classmates, tons of homework, and finding time for your own personal life, that can lead to a lot of stress. So if you're someone that feels that the stress of school is taking over your life, you're definitely going to want to hear what I have to say in this video right after this. Dealing with stress is never easy, but what if I were to tell you having stress day to day isn't even normal? In anything we do, experiencing resistance to the point where we lose sleep, skip meals, or think about it every single day is a sign that things are not going well. Sure, we'll always run into moments where we don't have full control over our settings, but when things get super stressful, it's a sign that something needs to change. The first thing I would suggest changing that is totally within your power is having a well-organized workflow and workspace. Creating a schedule that outlines when homework, assignments, and projects are due will help prevent them from creeping up on you so you don't have to work on them hours before they're due. One thing I personally use to stay organized is an app called Trello. It's kind of like a modern day to-do list where you can set checklists and tasks and move over cards. I'm going to put the link in the description below if you want to check it out. When tasks are all over the place and we don't know where to start, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why writing things out and organizing them helps us prep our time better to be way more efficient. And on that schedule, along with planning out when your next big test is, make sure to set aside time as well to relax. We can sometimes get so pulled into our work, so task-focused, that we forget the benefits of having undisturbed personal time. Whether it's studying all night long for a test or going from class to class to class, taking a few moments in between each of those things allows you to remember there's way more to life than what you're doing. I know it's easier said than done when the work keeps piling up, but even taking a 3-minute break to listen to a song or a guided meditation will help you relieve the stress instantly in that exact moment. Another slight thing that we do that only adds to our stress is constantly evaluating the things that we're learning by asking the question, why is this even relevant to my life? Feeling like you're being forced to learn something that isn't necessary, isn't applicable, and isn't interesting can make you feel like you're carrying around extra rocks in your bag that you just want to toss out. And just like with martial arts, the more you pull away from resistance, the more you're going to feel it. That's why I think it makes so much sense to go deeper into what you're learning, especially when it's a boring topic. Go online and do some research, watch some videos, learn a little bit more about it. That way, when you have to sit in class and listen to it and ask yourself, why is this relevant? At least you can feel it's somewhat interesting because you've taken the burden off of school and learned a little bit on your own. Trust me on this, I've been in that exact situation before where I sat in class and my brain just shut down because I had no clue what was going on. But once I went home, went online and learned a little bit about it in my own way, I didn't feel that pressure and stress of sitting there in class not knowing what's going on and constantly looking at the clock. But let's say that part of the reason why you're stressed out is because your classwork is just too confusing. You know you should probably reach out to someone for help, but you don't really know how to go about it. When it comes to reaching out for help, I think it's important to work within your proximity. So that first level is probably going to be your friends. You can share notes with them, ask them to explain something that didn't make sense to you. You can kind of learn from the people around you that are also learning at the same time. The next level of proximity would probably be your teacher. Letting your teacher know that you don't really understand what's going on in class may push them to set aside time during school hours to tutor you, or better yet, they may be a little bit more easygoing on you when it comes to grading your assignments and tests. And the third level of proximity is to probably talk to your parents. This is the one I think people are most afraid of because they never want their parents to think that they're dumb or that they're failing in school or to make a big deal out of it. But by simply telling your parents, they may go out of their way to look for a tutor to personally teach you the things that you may have trouble with. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help. Sometimes you're going to come across things that you just don't really understand, and it's better to tackle that problem head on and early before it really develops into something a lot bigger. It can be easy to fall into a pattern where you feel like life is full of stress and there's nothing you can do about it, but there's nothing normal about that approach. Pretending like your stress doesn't exist won't make it go away. In fact, it'll just make it pile up and be harder to deal with later. What do you think though? Does school ever stress you out? Leave your comment below and we'll talk about it. Always remember that grades and school should never make you feel like you're failing at life. You are way, way more important than any grade you'll ever receive. Keep in mind, a grade is just a snapshot of your performance in that moment. And with every new moment that passes, you have the ability to change it. Nothing in this world is finite, and as long as you are alive and breathing, you have the ability to work through your stress. And I know you can do it. As always, guys, love and peace.